Now let's talk about the funding process. Rule number one about this is that you should start looking for funding or preparing for funding before you need it. If you only prepare when it's already getting urgent, then you're too late and you have a super high risk of failing. So make yourself known, communicate, be out there, present your companies, even if you have no clear purpose, then just present your company around. Make sure that there are people that follow you, because many of the potential investors, they have this philosophy. They don't invest in a dot, they invest in a line, so they like to follow you over a period of time and see how you perform compared to what you've said earlier. The next thing is that once you realize that, okay, we actually do need funding at this time, what do? You set goals. How much money do we need? Do we need it in one tranche, or are we going for contingent funding, so several tranches that get released? Is it equity, or do we want to try to get a loan, or what are we aiming for? And then before you start really approaching people, you do what is called a spring cleaning. So a spring cleaning is an internal audit where you go through all the legal documents, all the financing, all the agreements you have with suppliers, whether you have protected intellectual property rights, etc., etc. So you imagine somebody comes in from outside and do a due diligence, and so you prepare everything for that. And what you might do is that you put a lot of documents into a data room, which is a protected website where people need a password to see it. So in that data room, you put really good descriptions of everything, and they have to be neat. They have to be so that a lawyer looks at it, says it's all clean, it's all coherent, there's nothing missing, there's nothing contradictory. That's the spring cleaning. So you might start looking for funding while you are doing spring cleaning. That is possible, but you should certainly get the spring cleaning done. Then you start looking for who can do the funding. And so this is a question of finding somebody who has given funding to similar companies like yourself. So they like the sector, they like the maturity you're in, whether it's early growth or seed or whatever it is. And you also look at the ticket size. So a venture capital fund that likes to write bills of $20 million are not right for if you're looking for $2 million or $200,000. So there has to be a match on the ticket size. So you make a short list of those, and then you look at, okay, so which people in these companies do we need to talk with? Which is the right partner? Some of them, if you go on the website and you look at who are the partners, there's one partner for entertainment services, one for games, one for this, one for that. So you find the partner that specialize, if that is the case, specialize in exactly what you do. And then you approach that partner alone. So you don't approach 2 or 3 people in the same company. That doesn't look good. And then when you want to get the meeting with an investor, try to get a privileged introduction. I know it can be difficult, but your chances of getting their attention is far higher if somebody recommends you. So if you know somebody who knows them and knows you and like you, try to go that way. Of course, a privileged introduction only happens if you're worth it, if the middleman thinks you're worth it. But that is the best thing to do.
Do you speak future?